So, hello everyone, my name is Dr. Akshay. I am a first year DNB resident, and so today we are studying the page number 92, the central mechanism of the pain. So, the spinal cord and the referred pain, generally the axons of the primary afferent nociceptors enters the spinal cord via the dorsal root. Now they terminate in the dorsal horn of the spinal gray matter. Okay. The terminus of the primary afferent axons contacts the spinal neurons. Now these spinal neurons transmit the pain signal to the brain sites involved in the pain perceptions. When the primary afferents are activated by the noxious stimuli, they release one neurotransmitter from their terminals and excite the spinal neurons. Right? Now the major neurotransmitter released is the glutamate, which rapidly excites the second order dorsal horn neurons. Okay, so generally the primary afferent nociceptors also release some substances such as substance P, CGRP, which produce the longer lasting effect. The axons of each primary afferent neurons contact the many spinal neurons, and each spinal neurons have many convergent primary afferent neurons on them. Now this convergence of sensory inputs to a single spinal pain transmission is of great importance because it underlines the phenomenon of the referred pain. Okay, so all spinal neurons that receive the inputs from the viscera and deep muscular structure also receive input from the skin. Whenever these deep viscera or structures are stimulated by the noxious stimuli, there will be a convergence of there will be a sensation of pain from by a spinal horn neuron receiving the primary afferent neurons from the skin. Okay, so the afferent that supply the central diaphragms are derived from the third and fourth cervical dorsal root ganglia. Now the primary afferent with the cell bodies in the same ganglia supplies the skin of the shoulder and the neck. Thus the sensory inputs from both the shoulder skin and the central diaphragm converge on the pain transmission neurons in the third and fourth cervical cells. Because of this convergence and the fact that the spinal neurons are most often activated by inputs from the skin, activity evoked in the spinal neurons. Thus the inflammation near the central diaphragm is often reported as a shoulder discomfort. Now there is a definition of the referred pain. This partial displacement of pain sensation from the site of injury means there is a displacement of pain sensation from the site of injury that produces it known as the referred pain. Now there are some ascending pathways for the pain. A majority of spinal neurons contacted by primary afferent nociceptors send their axons to the contralateral thalamus. Means there is a primary afferent neuron, it is go to the spinal horn neurons, and then these spinal horn neurons ascends via the cross sectioning into the contralateral thalamus, which form the contralateral spinothalamic tract, which lies in the anterolateral wall of the anterolateral white matter of the spinal cord and on the lateral edge of the medulla. Right, so it lies on the lateral edge of the medulla and the lateral pons in the midbrain. Now this spinothalamic pathway is crucial for the pain sensation in humans. Any injury to the spinothalamic tract can lead to the difficulty in pain and temperature perception. Now the spinothalamic tract axon ascends to the several regions of the thalamus. Now there will be another pathway from the thalamus which will send the pain sensation to the different parts of the brain. Like one of the thalamic projection is to the somatosensory cortex. This projection mediates the sensory discriminative aspects of the brain, like the location, kahan pe, intensity, quality. Other thalamic neuron project to the cortical regions that are linked to the emotional response, such as the cingulate and the insular cortex. Now there is one projection to the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe controls the behavioral pattern. Right? As a consequence, if there is an injury to the frontal lobe, there will be a person can sense there is a pain, but there will be no display of emotion by him. Okay, then there is a pain modulation. Now the pain produced by the injuries of similar magnitudes is remarkable, variable in different individuals. For example, if the athletes have been known to sustain the serious fractures with only a minor pain, While another example is the World War II surveys revealed that the many soldiers in battle were unbothered by injuries that would have produced the agonizing pain in the civilian patients. Furthermore, even the suggestion that the treatment will relieve the pain can have a significant analgesic effect, which is called the placebo. On the other hand, many patients find even a minor injury such as a venipuncture frightening and unbearable, and the expectation of pain can induce pain even without a noxious stimulus. The suggestion that pain will worsen following the administration of a substance is increase its perceived intensity. This is called the nocebo effect. The powerful effect of the expectation and other psychological variables on the perceived intensity of pain is explained by the brain circuits that modulates the activity of the pain transmission pathways. One of these circuits is linked to the hypothalamus, midbrain and medulla, which is here. This is the pain modulation circuit, which affects the pain transmission pathway, which goes from the hypothalamus, midbrain and the medulla. Human brain imaging studies have implicated that these pain modulating circuits in the pain relieving effect of attention, suggestion and opioid analgesic medication. Furthermore, each of this pathway has the opioid receptors and is sensitive to the direct application of the opioid drugs. In animals, any of this lesion of this descending modulatory system reduce the analgesic effect of the systemically administered opioids such as the morphine. Along with the opioid receptor, these components although have the pain, certain endogenous substances like the opioid peptides, enkephalins and beta endorphin. Okay, now the most reliable way to activate this endogenous opioid mediated modulating system is by the suggestion of pain relief or by the intense emotion directed away from the pain causing injury. Like during the severe threat or athletic competition, you forgot the pain. In fact, the pain relieving endogenous opioids are released following the surgical procedures and in patients given placebo for the pain relief. The pain modulating circuits can enhance as well as these circuits can enhance as well as suppress the pain. Pain inhibiting and the facilitating neurons in the medulla project to and control the spinal pain transmission neurons. Because pain transmission neurons can be activated by the modulator, it is theoretically possible to generate a pain signal with no peripheral noxious stimuli. In fact, the human functioning imaging studies have demonstrated increased activity in these circuits during the migraine headaches. Okay, a central circuit that facilitates the pain could account for the finding that pain can be induced by suggestion or enhanced by the expectation and provide a framework for understanding how psychological factors can contribute to the chronic pain. Means the pain modulation, if you can induce the pain and we can relieve the pain by suggestion and by giving placebo or